Okay, so I'm really excited about this next presentation. Not that I'm not been excited about all the rest of the presentations, but this is one of the first companies I picked for our cohort when we put this together. These guys said they were in San Francisco. Turns out they were in Brazil. I contacted them and I said, hey, I'm putting this together. I have no money. Would you like to join my program? They said no. So then I said, well, I didn't take that for an answer. So we went back and forth. But long story short, they joined our first cohort. It's a year later. They're raising their seed round. They've been out here for a month. We love these guys and we love what they're doing. We're really excited to just have them here in the Bay and to see the progress that they made in the last year.
Hello, hello. Okay. Hi, I'm Jacob, CEO from Bookkeeper. Bookkeeper is a bookkeeping backbone for Google Cloud. And accountants and bookkeepers, they are facing now a situation that there's more and more online solutions that create input to their systems. And they start to build all these kind of connections between their systems which they need to do their job, which is basically compliance and tax reports, right? And who suffers that is the client, because the accountant, he's working very hard and focused on maintaining his system and getting the compliance and doing everything right. And in reality, he doesn't provide valuable information to their end customers, because normally they send just a bill and the IRS report to pay, okay? So on Google, you have Google Sheets, which is not enough for accountants, and on the other hand, they have Google Cloud Platform, which is too complex for them. So we have made something in between, which is a double entry transaction streaming platform, where you can easily plug in all kinds of inputs, and you can also use the more legacy systems that they need to do their compliance and tax reports, and also plug them into the system. And the backbone, it will give you a real-time balance sheet and a profit and loss statement. So this is our main web application, which is built on top of this API. And what you see here is a simple scheme of double entry transactions, debit and credit. Here you have your balance sheet in real time and your profit and loss statement in real time. You can share your books just as you are used to, like on Google Sheets or Google Docs, and you work alongside with your teammates, and you can see that the BookBot is doing the heavy lifting for you on your books. So we have made this amazing model of machine learning and natural language processing that truly reduces your bookkeeping into one single line of text and not the more traditional form format type of input. Okay? This drastically reduces your data input efforts, and what's more important, your data integration efforts. Okay? So there's no more mapping between systems of data. After many iterations, we now have a clear path to conversion, which is based on the number of transactions that the user uses per month. We have a free tier, a tier which is for individuals, a tier for internal use in businesses, and a tier for accountants who want to use the backbone to offer their services. Over the last quarter, we had 20% growth month over month. We have reached 10K ARR, and we have doubled our lifetime value. So we're really growing, right? Our go-to-market strategy. We have many different people entering into our system, and we're now focusing very much on those who have a real problem to solve, and which we do very well, and which are very relevant for our traction. Okay, so we're focusing fully on bookkeepers and accounting. Startups and education are in the second vision. If you look to the market share, in the US there's about 2 million bookkeepers and accountants. They either go to Google or to Microsoft, And as we are the only solution on Google right now, we strongly believe we can become the default solution for Google for bookkeeping. And we can dominate that with the 60% of market share. Okay. But this is only the US. We already have 45,000 users worldwide, and we have customers in more than 30 countries. And the numbers of transactions that all these users generate is growing month after month. This is our team. We have a very strong technical background in the founders, which is Mael Caldas and Krishna Caldas. They're two Brazilian brothers who started this. And we have the complementary business skills needed to grow Bkper the coming years as a very solid business. So we're doing now our seed round to grow our team with some really good professionals and to keep accelerating our growth. Thank you very much.
So is this currently integrated with Google's system? So am I downloading the app within Google and
Well, we are all on we are all on all Google online stores. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Google Sheets. There's an add-on store. If you look for accounting or bookkeeping, it shows up, and normally people find us like that, or the G Suite Marketplace. Okay.
I guess I'm pretty interested in the data, right? Because you've already been going for like a year. So can you talk to me about like your conversion rates, right? So say people that start off free and they convert to like more transactions. Can you talk a little bit about that? And then also, if you said you're raising 2 million, if you've managed to close anything right now, as well, yeah.
Okay. About the conversion, right? You were asking. Okay. So. In our test, we basically found out that below 100 transactions per month, no one is willing to pay. And what we see normally is that there's not a only between these models there's upselling, but here it's very focused on an individual who wants to keep tracks for his consultancy and stuff like that. And businesses who need more books. This normally is with the G Suite domain. Okay.
So let's say if you take the customers that you have right now, like very quickly, what's the percentage against your different packages, right? Like what percentage is professional versus?
Okay, then that one is not fair because we started only 1 month ago. We have one customer there, and in percentages, if you look at total numbers. This is like 70%, and this is like 30%. But if you look in revenue, that's bigger than this one. Okay.
Okay. And then very quickly again, in terms of data. So you said I can save time by using what you're doing. Like, can you quantify that for me?
Yeah, that's always a difficult question. But so we're working very closely with an accountant in Brazil, and his message is like, especially in this part. In the collection of data and collaboration, there's a big win for him because he can put all his customers onto the books, and all the part of collecting data, consolidating data, that reduces. Now, if you say to me, yeah, how do you translate that into a total number? This I cannot give you. But for example, there's no more closing period. So day 30, what's here, that's the closing period. Okay.
Because I know you're raising, right, and I'm always thinking about what people are going to be looking for. I would advise you to be able to somehow have some kind of like in that.
About that question, yeah, we about the raising, right? We have some commitment already, and we are about to close the round. Okay.
So it's TipGenie.
Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Elle Rustique. I'm the CEO and founder of TipGenie.
We're a mobile payments startup and also a social impact company. We're in the hotel, travel, and service space. I'm here not to talk about blockchain or cryptocurrency. I'm talking about tipping. And I have a question for you. How many of you have ever been in that situation where you want to send a tip, but you don't have the cash or the exact change? No need to raise hands, but we all been in that situation. Oops, sorry here. Yeah, there's the question. So if for those of us who travel frequently and stay in hotels, it's an inconvenience to be able to not to want to tip the hotel housekeeper, valet, or bellman and not have the cash. But this is an even bigger problem for the hotels as a whole. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you how $1 and a lost opportunity for a tip can actually turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars lost for a hotel. It's right here. So in a cashless society, tip service workers are seeing their tips go down. And that translates to unhappy employees. Unhappy employees are demotivated, demoralized. I mean, who wouldn't feel that way? And you got that reflected in decline in service, negative reviews, and the employees are now looking for better paid work. So that translates to increased costs, staff turnover, high attrition, cost to acquire new customers. And now you have a negative effect on the bottom line. This is our solution. We're TipGenie. We have built the first mobile payments platform. It's a three-way integrated product that enables cashless digital tipping, real-time feedback, and business intelligence analytics that hotels and employees can use. Here's how it works. Really simple. That QR code is linked to an employee. You scan the QR code, you enter the tip, any amount, you're done. You rate the employee, you can leave a comment for the hotel, and it goes directly to the hotel management and also the employee at the same time. It's transparent, it's direct, and it's useful. Here's where we are. We are rolling out our program. It's called Powered by Appreciation in 8 hotels in the Bay Area. Someone asked about conversion rate. So as part of Unbank.Ventures assignment, Brett said, go out to 10 hotels and talk to them. What do they want? 8 of them signed on. That's a great. Here's our market opportunity. The total, our total available market is the tip service industry. There are 4.3 million tipped workers. It's a $1 trillion market, and this is the interesting thing. The IRS estimates that $11 billion of unreported tip-based income. I'll come back to that. Hotel and travel is our space right now. It's a $176 billion market, 25% of the service industry with 5 million rooms. We're focused right now on this area. There's experiencing a boom. There's 115,000 rooms with 30,000 hotel workers. And we are we're rolling out, and we intend to capture that market. We're doing an analysis right now of what we can do. Here is our business model. It's very straightforward. There's a setup fee for the hotel. It's renewable. Monthly subscription, monthly recurring revenue is going to be based on premium services. We estimate that's going to be $20 a room based on a hotel class size. And then there's a 2.5 transaction fee. We're going to take a cut of a fee based on the tip payment transactions. And then with volume, we're going to be collecting a lot of data about employee performance, about customer behavior. There's going to be operational, predictive, transactional analytics. That's where your machine learning and AI is going to come in. How am I doing on time? Here's our competitive advantage. So what makes us different are 3 things. So mobile payments, our payment is not peer-to-peer. It's not like Venmo or PayPal. I don't want to know who the information of the person I'm tipping. Guest feedback, it's real time. As I said, it's the employee and the management get to see that feedback right away. And as one GM that I talked to said, that's of great value to me because I get to know if there's a problem and I can address it before it gets on a TripAdvisor. And finally, there's no integration required. So the friction of that is clear. So here's our team. We have 3 people on our product team. Luke Mertens is our chief architect. He's CTO from Cal Poly. Kim Casson is my co-founder. She's had 20 plus years of product marketing, and she's our domain experience in hotel travel industry. We have advisors from Silicon Valley Hotels. And let me tell you about our plan. So our plan for the year is to get into all the major cities. We want to launch in the summer. We want to expand our team and make the product enhancements that we know customers are telling us and convert them to paying customers, expand through the Bay Area. 2.5 million it's going to take, and 250 convertible note we need now. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll take any questions.
So is this white labeled, or are you going to white label this?
A white label is going to be a premium service for the hotel that wants to come on board.
Okay.
On your pricing model, you were saying you were charging per room. What does that mean?
So if you think about a hotel, they vary in numbers of rooms. So that's basically what it's going to be based on. So how big the hotel is a number of rooms. So number of rooms, number of employees.
Okay. And then does this need to be an app? I'm assuming this is an app that the customer has to download as well?
We also just have a web. We also just built a web app, so you don't need that. You need to download an app.
Okay. Are there any portability over to chat interfaces in Messenger or in any of the places where we already have our payment platforms signed up with?
That's a premium service.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, that's on our radar. That's part of the plan to build out our product.
Cool.
Yeah, they want that.
How did you decide on $20 per room per month?
Well, we were thinking about how it was really just kind of market testing, like what would they pay for, what would the hotel pay for. So yeah, we've got to start low. You can't be starting out and asking them for $100 a room. So that's just our ballpark right now. It could change.
Do you think that number sounds low, Addie?
I don't know, because I'm trying to now put it into the context of I'm trying to put it into a use case scenario.
Right.
And I'm thinking about the setup fee, and I'm thinking about, do I even bother to do that?
If you're a hotel?
Have that, if I've got like a $25,000, I know it said $1,000 to $25,000. If I've got a $25,000 setup fee and this recurring amount, I just need to kind of like model it out in my mind.
Sure.
To see if it's something that, if I'm that big a hotel, if I would even bother.
If you want to think about the hotels that are in the way that they're operating, a hotel management company that manage several hotels, our pricing model could differ.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's right, because they're interested in, looking at the analytics across all 5 properties. No one's done this before, so.
And sorry, very quickly, you said you have 8 hotels signed up?
Yeah, and there are pilot sites.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Good. Great, thank you so much. Thank you.
Final 2 presentations. So we've got a scratch, and then our final 2 presentations will be coming from is RnCor next.
Yeah, that's RnCor.
So we're excited, also disappointed that one of our companies can't be here today. They're actually in China. Their trip was very favorable. It looks like they're going to be raising about a $2 million seed round. So we're excited for them, but we're disappointed they couldn't make it, but we still wanted them to present. So we're going to attempt that. They did this on very bad Chinese Wi-Fi, so let's see what comes of this. And then we're very excited to work with our first European-based company that's in a Zurich-based accelerator program that's looking to enter the U.S. market in the upcoming year, so they wanted to come through our program as well. So we're excited about these opportunities, but unfortunate that they're not here today.
Hi, my name's Matt. Thank you for having me here today. Great to be presenting to you. We recently confirmed that we doubled departmental revenue in a clinical environment with close to a year's worth of data, and we are really excited about that. I'll tell you more about our RnCor, our health data analytics company, with the focus today being on our machine learning for insurance reimbursement optimization. With that said, let's dive in. RnCor uses machine learning to optimize insurance reimbursement. Our program looks at high confirmed insurance payouts and applies those to similar procedures. We make it really easy and really fast for doctors to get paid really well. Now, why is this such a huge issue with such a large variation in payment? It's because there's no uniform standard for getting paid from insurance, and it really comes down to data entry around that process. What it's like today is that you have physicians, people with 8 years of education, averaging $200,000 a year in salaries, spending 2/3 of their time in front of a computer just doing data entry. It's not a great use of their time, education, or salary, and to be honest, most aren't very good at it because they're trained to practice medicine, not be data entry specialists. So it's all said and done, how does the medical field actually measure that data entry? They do it with a metric called RVU, Relative Value Unit, which is the KPI of the healthcare industry. The goal is to have a high RVU because that means you're bringing in more money more efficiently and making the best use of time for both the physician and the patient. What we managed to achieve, and this is no small feat, is having the highest RVU ratio per patient for an entire hospital department. This was with one of our earlier products. You can see on screen some of the comparative RVU ratios of other departments, the closest coming in at 3.5, but we are a full 20% higher than that at a company 4.2 RVU per patient ratio. So what does that translate to into real money? All total, we put the number at around $44 million that's still being left on the table, and that's just by the 3 control departments. There's several other departments in the facility that are also well below the 4.2 optimization ratio that we achieved, meaning there's even more than that 44 million that's being left on the table. For our leadership at RnCor, we have a pretty wonderful team lined up helping us grow and scale this company. We have extensive experience across healthcare, machine learning, and finance, and are well primed to succeed in this space. Out of the total $3.4 trillion healthcare market, we're well set with an extensive network of C-suite executives developed over the course of the team's personal networks and professional careers that we can tap on for our go-to-market strategy. Our competitors still emphasize the data entry physician model, and our main advantage is that we're really taking that huge pain away and allowing multiple physicians to get the optimized data all across the entire department at the same time. Our business model is set to take points based off of revenue generated, typically starting with a flat fee scaled per facility size, then proceeding to points of revenue that we help generate. Additional fees are issued for training, on-site support, and additional services. We're looking at an acquisition within 3 years, either by Siemens, IBM, or 3M, also helped along by the fact that we are already on Siemens' corporate radar. We're raising $500,000 for 20% of the company, and subsequently, we are also applying for federal grant funding from the NIH for $225,000 as part of their Smart Health initiative. This funding will go to a federal procurement specialist, additional sales staff, and additional developers. It will also help maintain our presence in San Francisco, Boston, and Cleveland, 3 hubs of healthcare and health tech development. Thank you for having me here today. Great presenting. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I'm just interested, judges, if Matt were here today, what questions would you ask him? So that I can ask him later when I see him. Did we understand what the product was? Let's start with that. I'll take that as a hard no.
Yeah, I would ask about the product, and if the doctors are, if it sounds like he's competing against some of the bigger Epic and things in the behemoths in the space. I mean,
Hi,
my
everyone.
biggest question would be, how do you get off of those and onto his? What does that model look like, and is it easier to use for doctors? Because a lot of the time, is it less of a time sink? Because it.
I mean, my comments would be around competitive advantage, and then also having like your end goal to get acquired in 3 years. I I don't see anything that's moving towards that right in the presentation, apart from you just saying we want to get acquired in 3 years. But definitely kind of agree with Maddie on competitive advantage.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your questions. I will make sure Matt hears all of this feedback. Okay, so our last presentation will be from Neuroprofiler.
Hi everyone, I'm Etienne from the French fintech startup Neuroprofiler. I'm going to show you how we change the way banks are assessing the risk profile of their individual clients. Despite financial regulation being more and more constraining, banks are struggling at assessing the risk profile of their clients. Most of them offer paper-based questionnaires with strange questions like, what's your risk profile from 1 to 6? And then you're putting 3 because you don't understand the question. Well, that's not very helpful. To sum up, there are 3 main problems with the current questionnaires. First, they are painful to handle for financial advisors. They are losing much time. Second, there is a high legal risk and potentially a big loss of money for banks because most questionnaires are not compliant with regulation. At third point, there is a weak methodology behind most of these questionnaires that lead to poor client knowledge. At Neuroprofiler, we simply want to totally change that. How do we do that? We offer first fully online solution that is easy to process for financial advisors. Second, a solution that is 100% compliant with regulation such as MiFID II in Europe. And the third point is stronger customer knowledge thanks to behavioral finance and machine learning. To sum up, this is our value proposition. A full-time faster process for the advisor. A 100% legal security solution for the bank, and third point, increased sales due to higher client knowledge for the bank. What makes us really unique is our investment game based on behavioral finance and machine learning. Thanks to the prospect theory of Daniel Kahneman, we designed an algorithm able to go deeper in risk profiling. Clients are faced with concrete investment situations and have to make choices. We offer a customized design with many white label options. It can look like this. We sell our questionnaires per package, and a questionnaire costs on average $5. Neuroprofiler launched in 2016 in France and was born from 2 co-founders matching high knowledge in behavioral finance. That's Tiffany, PhD in behavioral finance, and machine learning. That's Julien, former quantitative analyst at a hedge fund in Geneva. We're today a team of 7 people across Europe with knowledge and experience in fintech, web development, and banking. We're currently running projects with the big banks in Europe, you can see on the left. We already have 2 clients that are based in Geneva. These are the results from one of our pilot projects. As you can see, our product convinced both individual clients and advisors. They help them get a more fruitful and long-lasting relationship. We are addressing a huge market called client suitability assessment. It is composed of all private banking clients in the world, so more than 200 million people, and also everyone taking life insurance product, so more than 700 million people worldwide. All these people have to go through risk profiling every year. That's mandatory in most countries. Today, we're looking for about $1 million in funding. And with this money, we want to speed up our IT development first, and also to address new markets such as US and APAC. If you're a potential investor or involved in the wealth management business in the US, please contact me. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. Any thoughts? Any questions?
Am I getting connected to a wealth manager based on my risk profile, or am I getting connected to investments based on my risk profile? Yeah.
So it's kind of a gamification product for like a broker to administer to their customer. So the distribution will be through, does that make sense? Like the broker would give this to their customer.
And the risk profile I get back is for my portfolio?
It would be for the broker to then apply to your portfolio. It's like a tool for the broker to use.
Generally, I like this space. I think it's an interesting space to be in. I think there's more use cases and applications than demonstrated in this pitch, so it would have been cool to see more of that. And I guess for the pitch itself, also maybe something like more about, I guess, what I'm seeing, right, as a risk profile, or like even, I don't want to say the accuracy, but like towards that kind of direction, right, more of the technology side of it. But I like the space.
Any other questions? Thoughts? Nothing? That's it? Okay. Yes, so I've taken the test. It's actually kind of fun. So. It's like $5 per test is what it is. I believe it's on one of the slides, but that's kind of glossed over. All good feedback, so we'll be sure to send it to them. It must have been taken out since the last slide. Okay. So once upon a time, it was in there. So $5 per test is what they charge the brokerage. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's take a quick second. Let's tab this up, and let's find out who the Chardonnay winners are. Also, Marcella, would you go find me one more bottle of Chardonnay back there? Okay, it's quiet in here, guys. Come on. Yeah, audience choice here, huh? Jacob, you want to give us who are you picking? RnCor, interesting. I see that Michael is in the room. Michael, would you like to take this time to just give us a little Fenwick intro or sponsorship plug?
Sure. I'm Michael with Fenwick. We're a proud sponsor of Unbank and the summit today. We've been working with Brett for a while now. We're really happy to be a part of this, see the exciting companies that are coming through here, working with Brett in the fintech space. I'm a partner here. I work with early stage startup companies across many spectrums, fintech being obviously one area. So congrats on the companies that are here and presenting today and working hard. And I'll be around here if there are any questions I can answer. You have access to me off the clock. Certainly happy to spend a few minutes catching up with everybody. And congrats to Brett and all of the folks on his team that have worked real hard putting together last night and the event here. So I think we should all give Brett and the Unbank team a round of applause.
Thanks so much, Michael. Like literally could not have done this and this year without Michael's help and the great people at Fenwick. Also want to thank my wife Elizabeth for all her help, so with registration and everything. Also just like literally allowing me to do this as we've tried to build this business. Marcelo, is he still in the room? No, Marcelo, really, this is your moment. So I got an intern. I've worked him like a dog. He's an incredibly intelligent guy. He's just loved every minute of it, I think. So he's just really taken this opportunity. He's in the UC Berkeley Extension Program. And there he is. So Marcelo, yeah, we're giving you a round of applause for Marcelo here. I was just saying, what a great job he's done for our program and really honestly helped us kind of take it to the next level. So we're going to really miss him as we lose him in December. But yeah, we will keep pushing forward in spite of that. Who else? Tatiana's behind the scenes, been helping with all the food and prep. And whom else is there anybody else on my team I'm missing? The people at Runway have made it also possible, so they've given our program space. We love those guys. If you guys are looking for startup space here in the city, highly recommend them for not just the space, but the community, the location, everything about it's been great. And how are we doing on? How are we doing over there, ladies?
Almost done.
Okay, that one's perfect. Also, I'm killing time. Our bartenders are not here yet anyway, so we have nowhere to be, guys. We could just hang out here for a minute. Also, for me, this is just a personal thing. It's exciting to be able to reconnect with a couple of my colleagues from Draper back in the day. So I very much have enjoyed working with these very intelligent women who are leaders in the the venture or accelerator early startup space. So awesome to have him here on the panel today. Also, thanks for anyone who came or stayed today. You're awesome. We have winners. Can we start with number 3? That would be ideal.
Well, okay, in third place, drum roll. I'll start it off. Conversation 1. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
In second place, that one's.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure working with you. Looking forward to continuing.
In second place, we have Compliance AI. Nice.
Thank you so much. Okay.
We're gonna do it together. Okay, and the winner is, now I need like a big drum roll. Beekeeper.
Beekeeper.
I also call it beekeeper.
Bookkeeper. Should be beekeeper.
Promise that I'll.
Okay.
Oh, it's
And
a
then
gender.
honorable mention. And we want to give an honorable mention to TipGenie. Good job. You get an extra glass of wine at the bar.
Thanks, everyone.